Hello everybody, this is Jeannie Terranova with It's All About Yarn, Knit and Crochet. So today we are going to be doing the narrowing of the toe of the sock. And as you can see, I have this nice long sock made. A beautiful heel. And there's the V where we picked up the stitches. And then we knit it and we narrowed to make the gusset right here. And then I knit it to the length of the foot below the toes. And now we are going to make the toes. I'm going to keep this running. So my camera tried to run away. So the top of the foot is this needle here with 36 stitches on it. And the bottom of the foot has the 36 stitches, but they're onto the two needles. And that's where the heel was. So now we're going to begin narrowing the toes. And what we will be doing is knitting one, and then slip, slip, and knit two together. That's on the bottom. And then we'll knit to the end, to the last 3 stitches on the bottom. Knit two together and knit one. So we'll decrease one at the beginning, one at the end of the bottom, and at the top we're going to do the same thing. We will knit one, slip, slip, knit two together, knit to the last 3 stitches, knit two together, and then knit one. And then the next row we will just knit around. Okay, and those 2 rows we're going to repeat. Now, if you repeat those rows to the very end, you'll end up with a fairly peaky toe. But if you decrease every round, you're going to end up with a very short rounded toe. So what I like to do, I like to repeat those rows for 3 sets. So it will be a decrease row, a decrease round, a regular round, done 3 times. That'll be 3 sets. And then I will decrease rounds every round until I have just a few stitches left on the needle. So let's begin. I'm still using my mother's old needles. They must be 60, 70 years old. I'd love to get one of those nice new pairs they have out on the market. So we will knit one, slip, slip, and then knit 2 together, and then knit to the end, of the bottom row. Hey, my thumb's getting better. I hit it the other day with the hammer, putting those shelves together because they're not pre-drilled. They were just made of planks. And I wish I would have had some IKEA furniture, but I can only order them from other provinces, and it costs a few $100s to have them shipped here. And Canadian Tire and Kent's do not have long shelves, so I had to build a set. I done pretty good until I hit my thumb with the hammer. It's been quite a few years. So we're knitting the bottom of the sock. We did a decrease at the beginning of the bottom row, and we're heading towards the end of the needle here. We'll do another decrease. I see a lot of beautiful, whoops, I'm going too quick here. I see a lot of beautiful shelves on some of the channels. So we knit it to the last 3, and now we're going to knit 2 together. And then knit 1. Now I've made many pairs of woolen socks made with worsted weight yarn. This is my 3rd pair with fingering weight because I discovered them from the Crazy Sock Lady last year. I only began YouTube last July, and so amazed of everything that I found on there. So now we're going to do the top row. We are going to knit 1 and then slip, slip, knitwise, and then knit 2 together, and then knit to the end of this needle to the last 3. Knit 2 together. We're at the last 3. There, so we've done 1 round of decrease. Now we will do a regular round of knit. I'm going to put a stitch marker to mark my first round of decrease. Just so I don't lose count how many sets I have done. It's hard to see the black. So now I'm going to knit a regular round. And I will meet you back around. And we are done that round, so now we have 34 in the front, 34 in the back. Time for another decrease round. Knit 1, slip, slip, knit knitwise, then knit 2 together. This little stitch marker is getting in my way. My goodness. It's only here for teaching purposes only. So now we'll knit to the end of the bottom, to the last 3 stitches. Look how blunt my needles are worn. Just like a pencil. The last 3 stitches. There. Start with a blunt needle. There, so we knit it 2 together and knit it 1, so that's the bottom row. Now for the top row is a decrease row still. Gonna knit 1, slip, slip, knit to the last 3, knit to the last 3, knit 2 together, and knit 1. So that's 2 sets of narrow rows. I'm just going to hook it onto the other one. And now we will just knit a ordinary round. See you back at the beginning. Now another decrease round, which will be the 3rd. Onto the 3rd set. So we knit it 1, slip, slip, knit 2 together, when we are done this round, there'll be 6 less stitches altogether. So go ahead and finish your decrease round. I'll meet you back at the beginning. And I finished that decrease round. Now we have to make sure we also get in the 1 regular knit round. But you can see how it's beginning to narrow. But now I don't like my socks being peaky, so after this regular round, every round after I will be doing a decrease round to make a more rounded toe. Okay, so you will keep knitting decrease rounds until you have just a few left at the top of the toe, and I will meet you back. Coming along so far. It's rounding up pretty good. I'm going to keep going. So keep decreasing. So where these are fairly small stitches, and there's still quite a few left, I feel that it's going to be a pointier toe than I would like. So what I'm going to do is a little adjusting. I'm going to, now I'm at the front of my work, I'm going to, when I start the next round, at the beginning I'm going to knit one, slip, slip, knit two together, slip, slip, knit two together again. So I'm going to decrease two at the beginning of the round, and at the end I'm going to, at the last 5 stitches, I'm going to knit two together again, and knit one. And I'm going to do that on the back of the work as well to make it even. And then I will continue with the regular decrease of 1 at each end of the front and back, as I were already doing. So just to get it to round off better, because I can see that happening, and I'm going to place a stitch marker as well where I done this so that I can do the same and have it even with the other sock. There we have that, and we're going to now keep decreasing, only 1 at the beginning and end of each row now on per side. So I will meet you back. Okay, everybody, now it's time. This might throw you through a little bit of a loop, but it's the way my mother, who would be in her hundreds right now, because this is how she taught me to do her knitting, how to make the heel. This is Marion's socks. I should have gave it this name. And this is what she used to do. She doesn't do the Kirschner stitch. She never heard of the Kirschner stitch. So I'm going to knit one and knit two together all the way around. I have 10 stitches on the front needle, 10 stitches on the back needle. So I'm going to knit one, knit two together, knit one. I need to move my stitches around the needles. Knit two together. Knit one. Knit two together. Knit one. Then to the front needle I have 10 stitches. I will repeat that. Knit one. I'll have a camera stand out here. Knit two together. Knit one. Knit two together. Oops. Two. Knit one. Knit two together. And knit one. That gives us 7 stitches on the front and the back. We're going to repeat that one more time. Because there's 14 stitches here. So I'm going to repeat that one more time, one more round. I'm going to knit one, knit two together all the way around, and I will meet you back. And I am back. So I put this remainder of the stitches onto 2 needles. I have 5 stitches per needle. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave a good tail. I'm going to cut it. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pull the yarn. I'm going to knit the yarn through each of these. Just going to pull it right through like that. And this is all my mother did. Just one needle off. I do like the Kirschner stitch as well, but I like this way as well too. So I'm just pulling it through the remainder of the stitches. I'm not pulling it tight yet. I want to leave a tiny opening so I can thread the tail down through the loop to the inside. Okay, so I'm going to stick my hand up in the sock. And here's the tail. I'm going to just pull it down into the inside, and then I'm going to pull it tight. It's hard when my fingers are tingling. I hit my thumb the other day with the hammer and it bruised it, and thing is I barely felt it because I have bad nerves in my hands. So I thumble a little bit. Thumble. Funny. Thumble. So there. Pull that tight. Anyways, there she is. I'm just going to leave these markers in. I did use them for tutorial purposes only, but I'm still, where it's black yarn, I'm going to leave them there for my sake because it's really hard to see. I could flatten this out much better on the table. I just have it on my lap. I don't block them. I use the table. So I never pulled on this sock or anything because I need to make the second one, and if one is stretched out and I use it to measure my other sock with, my other sock is going to end up bigger by the time it comes out of the wash. So this is like a man's size, I'd say size 12 sock. It's a big sock that I made with fingering weight yarn, bigger than in the book. I made it extra big, so it took me a bit longer. But there's always a person with bigger feet. Okay, so I like this stitch. I wonder if I can focus better. Yeah, so I just doubled up on the end, and I didn't need to do a Kirschner stitch, and it fits just as nice. It looks just as good. Okay, so that's how my mother made her socks. Her name was Marion. She never knew of the Kirschner stitch. She never knew of Briggs and Little when she was young because she was born at the first of last century. And she lived probably 275 miles up north from Briggs and Little, and they didn't even have, she lived in the woods in a little cabin. And the only thing difference is that I use fingering weight yarn and added more stitches. So this is a beautiful sock. And like I said, just divide the stitches half for the top and half for the bottom, above and below the heel. So after you pick up your stitches for the heel, you will be doing the decreases until you have the same amount on the foot as you do as the top. Okay? But if you have a wider foot, you can just make your heel a tiny bit longer and leave a few more stitches on, because some people have bigger or wider feet. Okay, so you can do that for a wider foot. And I will see you guys later. I'm going to finish up my other sock. I'm heading up towards the toe. If you like, leave me a comment below if you want to see me do the toe on that one as well. But you can re-watch this one, so I think I'll just finish it. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you next time, everybody. Happy yarning. Bye.